So I'm having a chat with Claudia Valentina. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How you doing?
Good, yeah, not too bad. Here at Reading Festival.
I am indeed.
How's your weekend been?
It's been amazing. I did All Points East yesterday and the day before, so I'm
Busy.
very tired, but we're out here.
Have you managed to catch any bands?
Any bands? I actually haven't seen that much of the festivals because I've just been in and out trying to like save some energy because it's a lot of travelling, but I've seen some bits and bobs catching the ends of some shows and it's been amazing. Yeah.
Good. And you've been busy. You've been writing and releasing music, and you've got a new EP on the way. Tell us a bit about what's coming up on this EP.
The next EP, yes, I'm very excited. It comes out sometime soon, next month, I believe.
Yeah.
It's called Foreign Affairs, and every song on it I've been so excited to release for such a long time. So yeah, it's all coming together, babes.
Good.
You know?
And how's this EP sounding in comparison to the previous?
It definitely has. I mean, my kind of theme recently has been like just I don't have a specific. I only do this kind of sound, so it's like all my songs are different elements of stuff that I am influenced by. So it's like they're a lot of everything in this EP, and it's like covers all my favorite things. Got some slower songs, like a ballad thing, which I'm really excited about. I played that for my brother this morning for the first time, and he was like crying his eyes out, which is great. It's exactly the response that I like. And yeah, I'm super excited about it.
I can imagine. And I'm sure you've been writing plenty, especially because of the last couple of years. That's all we could really end up doing. Have you got kind of a big backlog of kind of music that you want to get out there?
Yeah, oh my God, my Dropbox is just like a mosh pit of just like every single song I've ever written. And it's just, I think especially over the last couple of years, all we've been doing is writing and I mean, I've been banking music since I was like 13.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of it's dated now by the time I'm like ready to release music, but yeah, every time I get a song out, it takes such a long process to get that song out that I've already made so much more. I wish the turnaround was like quicker, but it's such a process to like get it, into a project and all that stuff. But yeah, every one that comes out, I'm like, oh, finally, 3 years.
No, I'm sure. And what do you do with all this music that's on your Dropbox? How do you kind of go through it and pick the ones that you want to start for the next release?
The Dropbox, I basically just listen to all of my songs every day, like in the car, just random stuff, and then I'll in the Dropbox, it's like this mad file, and then it's just like I'll hear something that I did 4 years ago that I can't remember even writing it, and I often I'm like, wait, I remember doing this like 4 years ago, I need to pick this one back up and going on it. And sometimes like I remember there was C'est La Vie was like that, like I did it, forgot about it, like it was a demo, forgot about it in the Dropbox, and then picked it back up like a year later, went in on it again, and like finished it completely. And before that it was just sitting there doing nothing. So there could potentially be a lot more in the Dropbox that I don't even know about yet. Yeah.
And how do you start? I mean, do the lyrics come first? Does the sound, the tune come first? How does it work for you?
It's a tricky one. For me, it's like I feel like I'm not as bringing in into concepts into a session, because I feel like lyrically has to match what the song is saying. So it's about like making the beat first and then seeing how that makes you feel and what it makes you want to write about. Yeah. So that tends to be how I work. But for me, it always starts with like a very sick beat and having the right people with me, making it with me, and the vibes being good. That's the recipe, you know.
And I'm sure you'll be wanting to take this out on the road and do some touring. Where can people see you over the next few months?
So today, hopefully some people are going to be about today, and then I have Sundown Festival, and then I'm going to be making music again. So I'm going back to LA for a while, hopefully Atlanta for a bit, and just knuckle down on some new music. And you never know, I would love to do a tour sometime. That's fingers crossed. That would be amazing.
I'm sure it'll happen. Now, what made you do this in the
first place? What made me do music?
What made you do music? What made you to write and to share it with the world?
I have been. It's like since I was 3 years old, I never did anything else, and I never didn't have many friends. I literally just did singing, dancing, and acting, and was like a maniac about it. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do. I only had like one. I never had like I would ever think about doing anything else. And yeah, I left school really young, just fully committed to the cause. I did like Billy Elliot when I was 9, and then I moved to LA when I was 13, and was just doing sessions since then. Literally nothing has changed. I just keep the same mentality I have now, which is like 100% life or death about this, is the same as I had when I was like 10. So yeah, my parents think I'm like a maniac, but it's what I love, and I'll never do anything else.
Good, that's great to hear. And I'm sure you must have a bucket list of things you want to achieve. What's kind of one thing on that list that you have to achieve?
One thing on that list, headlining Glastonbury. Of course. I feel like that's on everyone's bucket list.
It's a common one.
Yeah, it's a common one. I would love to do a world tour. I would love to perform. Like, I'm still really early days in performing stuff, because I only released my first single like the beginning of Corona, so that was like no performing or anything. So only recently did I start doing shows like ever. So it's been like a shock to the system, and like getting back. I've not been on stage since I was like a kid when I was doing all that stuff. When it's different when you're by yourself and you're like trying to be like a pop star rather than being like a theatre kid. So it's like very different. And but I love it so much, and I'm like, okay, when can I get like backup dancers and like a whole show and like fire and shit? But at the moment, I'm just enjoying it, and just like I'm excited. Yes.
Yeah. And what was that first show like?
My first show, it was actually, I think I was opening for Ray in Glasgow, and it was super amazing. I'm such a huge fan of Ray, and I have been for so long that it was like crazy. Anyways, and that was an amazing first show. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, Claudia, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks very much. Yes.